Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the Vintage Electronics channel. This video is a little bit different. There's no teardown, no flea market hunt, nothing actively trying to shock me or catch fire. This is our 2025 year in review, and I want to take some time to look back at what we built together this year. The videos that worked, the ones that surprised me, the ones that completely flopped, and the moments that reminded me why this channel exists in the first place. Because 2025 was a big year around here. Stay tuned. At the start of 2025, this channel was already rolling along nicely, but I didn't really know where the year was going to take us. Now, I knew I wanted to go deeper into format history and keep restoring and testing real hardware and honestly just keep showing up here at the studio. And what I didn't expect was how much some of these stories would resonate, especially the ones about formats that time almost forgot. Early in the year, we kicked things off with Sony SuperBeta HiFi. This was one of those formats that did almost everything right, but it still lost. It had better picture quality than VHS. It had excellent hi-fi audio and Sony's solid engineering. And yet, history chose VHS. Now that video did really well, and I think that's because a lot of people are fascinated by the what-ifs of technology. Not just what won, but what deserved to win. Then, we had some fun with E.T. for the Atari 2600. That's the game that everyone loves to hate. Is it really the worst game ever made, or just the most rushed? This one didn't break any records, but it sparked great conversation. And honestly, those are sometimes my favorite episodes. Now we jump into February through March, what I like to call small but mighty. You know, sometimes I buy things knowing full well that they're ridiculous, and this was one of those times. A tiny, functional Atari 2600, barely bigger than your hand. Now, this one was just fun, and fun, well, it matters. But let's talk about grime. Now, I had looked at the nastiest Tandy CM5 monitor on March 26th. Now, this monitor had seen things it could not unsee. This was a true trash to treasure episode, and while it didn't explode view-wise, it's exactly the kind of hands-on restoration content that this channel was built on. As we jump into the spring last year, we started off with a cheap Chinese Famicom clone in May. Now this one was kind of rough. Cheap knockoff hardware, questionable design choices, somehow still kind of fascinating. Sometimes bad hardware makes for great content. Then later on in May, we talked about my Commodore 1571 disk drive. You know, it was personal. I've had this drive since 1985. Now, when something that old stops working, it's not just a repair, it's a memory check. This video reminded me that a lot of you aren't just watching for the tech. You're watching because these machines were part of your life too. Then in June, the channel explodes. Our episode 5 of the Flea Market HiFi series hit on June 4th, and it got like 30,000 views within a couple of days. That was one of the biggest surprises of the year. You know, Flea Market HiFi just clicked with people, you know, digging through vendor malls, sorting treasure from trash, and letting the audience come along for the hunt. Now, clearly, you like seeing the gamble as much as the payoff. Then later on in June, we talked about Sony DAT. Now that was later on in June the 25th. Ended up with 54,000 and some views within a month or so. And then this happened. It became the biggest video on the channel in 2025. You know, DAT really is the perfect storm of incredible technology, corporate fear, copyright paranoia, and a format that was too good for its own good. You know, I put a lot of work into this one, and the response blew me away. If you found this channel through the DAT video, welcome. You're officially part of the madness now. Then rolling into summer, my wife and I decided to take a last-minute trip to the Smoky Mountains. So what do I take with me? A Sony Mavica FD85, a digital camera that uses floppy disks. Now this video was pure nostalgia with a side of, how did we ever live like this? And yes, it still works in 2025 somehow. Then we went to digitizing old tapes. And this one's important because time is not kind to magnetic tape. VHS, cassette, mini DV, 8mm, doesn't matter. This wasn't nostalgia, this was a warning. And a lot of you reached out saying that this video pushed you to finally preserve your family memories. That alone made it worth doing. Then in August, we did a follow-up to the Sony DAT video. Part 2 was inevitable, and this one focused on the professionals, the studios, the radio stations, and the real legacy of DAT. And yes, I still love that format. Then starting in the fall, we rolled into some stories that were beyond just hardware with that Vesna Soviet cassette deck on October 1st. That one was one of my favorite videos of the year, not because of the views, but because of the story. And that really connects with me. Music passed hand to hand. It was bootlegs, forbidden bands, creativity under restriction. This video reminded me that electronics aren't just machines. They are vessels for culture. Then we had the $135 custom vinyl that broke my heart. Oof, now that one hurt, literally and financially. But it was honest. Not everything with a retro aesthetic delivers a retro experience. And sometimes disappointment, well, that's the lesson. Now, rounding out the year was the 10,000 subscriber moment. You know, back in July, I announced that we were getting really close to that 10K mark. And on December 24th, you should have already watched it, was the 10,000 subscriber holiday special. Let's talk about that for a second. 10,000 subscribers. That number still doesn't feel real to me. This channel started as one guy at a bench trying to keep old electronics alive, and now, well, we've got a community from around the world. You know, seeing your submissions, your gear, and hearing your stories, that was the highlight of the year. Full stop. This year taught me a few things. First and foremost, that people love stories, not just specs. Something that I think makes this channel unique is that we're not just doing restorations on old gear. We're not just talking about tech specs. We're not audiophiles. It's about people, what their connection is with the technology, how it makes them feel, what their memories are. And I think that makes us unique. I also learned that formats that failed are often more interesting than the ones that won. And that community matters more than algorithms. You know, it's about you. It's not about just the piece of equipment. You know, old tech still has a lot to say, but we do too. In 2026, I want to go deeper into some of those forgotten formats, do more long-form history pieces. I definitely want to keep Flea Market HiFi rolling. And I want to keep this channel honest, curious, and fun. No hype, no nonsense, just good stories and great gear. If you watched even one video this year, thank you. If you commented, shared, submitted gear, or just quietly enjoyed it from the background, thank you. This channel exists because you believe old technology still matters. And in 2026, we're just getting started. Thanks again for watching and being a part of the community. We'll see you in the next video.